So good afternoon. This is Audrey Russo. Welcome to today's session of Business as Usual. My name is, I just said what my name is. I'm here with Jonathan Kirsting. He's Vice President of all things media and visibility at the Tech Council. And we are thrilled to have our guests today. But before we introduce our two guests, I would like to just mention a couple of things about the call. I want to thank Huntington Bank and Synergy Staffing for their sponsors of this work. Huntington Bank has been with us from the beginning, and if you don't know anything about them, they're the largest SBA lender in southwestern Pennsylvania. And then Synergy Staffing, which is an IT staffing firm that provides resources to an array of companies here in southwestern Pennsylvania and have been very active in the Tech Council. So today we are thrilled to have Jerome Bettis. He is here to talk to us about the Bus Stops Here Foundation, but I also want to tell you that he's joined by his executive director of that organization as well, Beth, and I'll bring them both on in a second. Tomorrow, we are joined by Michael Couch, who's going to talk about promoting organizational culture in times of crisis. And then on Friday, we are hosting on Juneteenth Esther Bush, who is actually the executive director of the Greater Pittsburgh Urban League, and talk about Black Pittsburgh and all things that they work on in the Urban League. So you'll notice we muted your microphones. We did that on purpose so that we don't hear all the noise in the background, and we want the call to be interactive. Hopefully we'll have an opportunity to have some questions answered. This will be action-packed. So now I'm going to bring on the Detroit All-City Bowler. Many of you might not know that. And the NFL Hall of Fame legend, Jerome Bettis, and Bethany Weitmeyer, Executive Director of the Bus Stops Here Foundation. Jeremy and Bethany, welcome to the program today, and thanks for making the time out of your very busy schedules to join us today and talk about your important work. So
thank you.
First I'm going to bring Jerome on. Jerome?
Yep.
How are you? Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
No, it's awesome. So over the last several weeks, our team has learned a lot about you and your work. That's way beyond bowling, way beyond all your legacy in terms of Detroit as well as Pittsburgh, because there's amazing things that you're doing. And we felt it was really important to share this with our community. So from the outset of the formation of your foundation, you've had a focus right from the beginning about youth and technology and even STEM as well as entrepreneurship. So can you kick off and just tell us about the history of the foundation?
Well, over 20 years ago, I decided that I wanted to really give back to the communities that have really helped me so much. And how this all came to be was when I was growing up as a kid, I was what you would call an at-risk kid. And a lot of people, they hear at-risk and they're not sure what at-risk means. At-risk means a kid that is at risk of going down the wrong road, making the wrong decisions in life. And I was helped and greatly benefited by a foundation. And the gentleman's name was Reggie McKenzie. And he was a legend in the Michigan area, went to University of Michigan. And he gave this free football camp for kids. And he gave a mentoring program for those same kids. And I was able to benefit from this free camp and this free mentoring program. And it really changed my trajectory. And so as a result, I wanted to do something really similar because my goal was, if I can go out and affect change, then that's the most important part of it. And, you know, I got a chance to get back to Reggie McKenzie, and I asked him one thing, and I said, Reggie, why would you do something like this? You know, he had the foundation for over 40 years, and he said, if I can help change one kid's life, then I've made a difference. And I was so proud to tell him that I was that one kid, that he had changed my life and helped influence me. And I thought it would be such a great thing if I could do the same thing, because who knows who that one kid would turn out to be. If Reggie thought that, you know, he could influence this kid to become a Hall of Famer, a Super Bowl champion, all these things, then hopefully I can encourage some kid to do the same and give them the same opportunity. So I started the foundation, and with an emphasis on technology. As we saw, the technology age was growing leaps and bounds, and I saw that there was a digital divide, and we needed to really help close that digital divide by one offering services, but also offering that hardware that is so hard to come by. And so that became my goal, and my energies have been going in that direction. And, I like to think it's been paying off, because we've got, thousands of kids that we've been able to influence and impact and make a difference.
Well, it is incredible that you've been at this for 20 years, because that's right after the .com bust. So that's, that was a time when many people were not thinking about the issues around the digital divide. So what you actually operate out of Detroit and out of Pittsburgh, are those the two communities?
Yeah, those are the two. I'm from Detroit, and that's where, I've been. And so we have a emphasis there in Detroit, but we also have a large emphasis in Pittsburgh, where I spent the majority of my playing career. And so I've been able to utilize those two communities and really go inside and try to help benefit kids in both of those communities.
Yeah, that's commendable, because you could have forgotten about us in Pittsburgh. So my hat's off.
I can never forget Pittsburgh.
We're glad you remembered us, man. That's cool stuff.
So can you mention in a minute, look, I'm going to pass the baton over to Bethany for a second, as she runs the day-to-day in terms of your organization. You're running a robust program called Innovation Huddle, right? Can you talk about that? Because I think that's something really important for everyone to hear.
Innovation Huddle was something that we designed where we wanted to try to introduce kids to entrepreneurship. And the idea with entrepreneurship, it's a couple of things. It's a little STEM and it's entrepreneurship. But one of the interesting parts of what we wanted to do was give these kids something that they don't normally see. And, the STEM technology, that's been incredible. But we also wanted to introduce entrepreneurship and show kids how you build a business, how you develop the website, how do you do these things. And then what we allowed them to do was to create a product and then sell that product. And so we wanted them to see how their minds could think far past just going out and doing one particular thing. And it had been really tremendous. And so that program, it was introduced along with other programs from other foundations in this incubator, and all the kids gravitated to our program, the Innovation Huddle program, which allowed us to go from a 1-day-a-week program to a 3-day-a-week program. And we got the best attendance of any of the programs. And that's just something that we felt was lacking, and kids really wanted to see. And once you give them an opportunity, they're going to run with it. And that's what we found.
And so has anything changed in this COVID world?
Yes, there's a lot has changed. The accessibility, that has been a large problem. A lot of kids don't have the access because of the hardware, and they don't have the accessibility because of the internet access. So we're trying to bridge that divide as well. So we're going out, we're trying to help ask companies to partner with us so we can fund these hardware scenarios. We can provide them refurbished computers or different things that we can buy or get donated to us from the companies that we can then give to the kids and help create that opportunity that they need to be online.
Okay, so let's jump to Bethany really quick. Bethany, I introduced you to the group earlier. We are here now with Bethany, who actually is the executive director and runs the organization. So Innovation Huddle has some few key areas that of activity associated with it. The students are learning a lot, including coding. Can you talk about the program?
Sure, absolutely. So it's actually a little bit different in Pittsburgh and Detroit, and we try to cater to the demographics in the schools that we were in. In Detroit, we're in partnership with the Ford Resource Center, so that's where it's really focused on STEM education with an entrepreneurship component. And we do it in 16-week programs in Detroit to get the biggest impact to the most kids in. And it does go through the STEM component of it, and then they also build their own business, like Jerome had mentioned, and it ends in a pop-up shop where the members of the community actually come in and the kids physically sell their product using fake Innovation Huddle dollars, but it teaches them those communication skills as well and how to interact with adults. And they have to sell their products, create their own websites, showcase their own websites, and it's a very full circle program. Here in Pittsburgh, it's actually a year-long program in Washington School District. So the kids start typically at the end of September. They go 3 days a week after school, and it's more of a STEM-based with a coding focus.
Okay.
So it's a teacher within Washington School that teaches it after school for us that we've hired. We provided the curriculum, we built it out, so it is a full year program for middle school age students. So grades 5 through 8 can participate, and we're looking to expand it to more school districts.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually, very exciting news, Innovation Huddle was just approved for EITC.
Oh,
so we're going to be seeking dollars this year to get it into Allegheny County and the surrounding counties, not just Washington.
That's awesome. So if people who are listening, they should go to the website, the Bus Stops Here.
The busstopsherefoundation.org, and we have all of our programs listed on there.
Okay, so they can find out more information and they can actually reach out to you through submitting contact info, and they can get connected.
Yeah.
And some of the things that you look for in terms of connectivity is not just money, right? You also talk a little bit about what else you look for.
Sure. So actually the summer has been very unique because of COVID in the past few months. So it all started when Jerome received a call from the Pittsburgh Steelers front office at the beginning of the COVID pandemic. And they had said that there's 60 students just south of Pittsburgh in Beth Center School District that have not been able to complete any of their school assignments due to lack of technology. So we immediately wanted to help. We started a crowdfunding campaign, and within 24 hours, we've been fortunate enough that we raised enough funds to purchase brand new Wi-Fi equipped laptops for the students. So we were able to get them connected. However, we found out during that there's many more students in the same situation. So we've made it our mission to support Southwestern PA and try to get technology and the devices, the routers and the Wi-Fi in the homes of as many students as we can, just in case this fall they have to go back to schooling from home and they can be equipped and ready to go. So our goal is to get that one-on-one for every student in Southwestern PA, and we know the need is 36,000 plus. So we've really made it our initiative this entire summer. We've been fortunate enough to partner with the Education Partnership and Computer Reach, and we're going to be doing a summer-long technology drive and encouraging corporates from across the country to donate laptops that we could refurbish, put in the hands of students, or make a monetary donation that we could then purchase new for these students.
Wow. I think if there are parents, there's plenty of parents that are on this call, and I know they probably gasped when you said if they return to school in the fall. So as many people are trying to juggle life, including this digital divide, it makes the world a little complex. So I appreciate that. Thank you for giving us that perspective. So Jerome, your foundation is focused on a few other things as well, including helping young people afflicted with asthma through a program called Life Without Limit to help them manage their asthma in a way that allows them to participate in organized sports. That may be something that many of us just don't even think about. So talk about why that's important to you and the impact that you've already had in your community.
Well, that's been critically important to me because I'm asthmatic, and I grew up as a kid that had to deal with asthma, and I have found that in talking to young kids now, that there's always a sense of, well, I wish I could, but I have asthma. And I wanted to really let all the kids know that you can have a life without limits as long as you manage the asthma, as long as you deal with it, as long as you attack it, head on. And it's really been very beneficial because the kids, we have a camp that we created, and we take the kids through a lot of different drills and types of athletic pursuits. But then what we like to do is we like to talk to them, explain to them that as long as they do the necessary things in terms of managing the asthma, then they can have a life without limits. They can do the things. And I use myself as the example. I was able to be a running back and run for over 13,000 yards, but I had asthma. So it's not impossible to do. And so as long as you try to encourage those young people, then they see that there is the opportunity to do other things, and they're not limited because they have asthma. That was the biggest issue when I started hearing those kids say, I wish I could, but. And I said, no, there is no buts. You can do whatever it is that you want to do as long as you manage the asthma.
And so asthma is more prevalent than people really understand. Do either of you know how prevalent asthma is?
I don't know the exact numbers, but in the urban communities, it is a very, very high number. And it's unfortunate, but it's something that it needs to be addressed. And these kids need to understand that there is no negative stigma with having asthma, and that it can be positive. Let's make it positive.
Mm-hmm. And so you lived with asthma all your life, Jerome?
Well, I was diagnosed at 14 when I started to go out for football. That's when I didn't start playing football until high school.
Right.
So when I went out to play football, I had an asthma attack. I went to the hospital, and I was diagnosed with asthma, and I had to deal with it ever since. But that's been a part of my life ever since I found out that I had it.
And you said asthma wasn't going to stop you?
Well, actually, I was concerned, but my mother and father, they were the ones that really encouraged me. And they said, hey, you'll be fine, because I thought my football career was over after I had the asthma. I said, okay, well, maybe I can't play football. And my mom said, why? Why can't you play? And she said, no, you're going to take the medicine. You're going to use your inhaler. You're going to do all those things. So what my mom did was she went to the head coach, told him I had asthma, told all the other assistant coaches, and she created a environment that if there was ever a problem, they were on top of it. So it was conducive to me playing. I continued to play, and that's what I try to create for the young people that come to the camp. We want to explain to them that you can still be successful in whatever athletic pursuits that you want to be involved in, as long as you manage it, you let people know, and you'll be fine.
Wow, that's quite inspiring. Nothing can stop you. So Beth, our members responded in a very big way earlier this COVID period in helping bridge the digital divide in Pittsburgh. So what, for our audience today, talk about some really material things that they can do to help, because we're asking them to reach out to you, but give some examples. And do you take new equipment?
Absolutely. New equipment, used equipment, we are accepting it all. Laptops, desktops are just going to be extremely hard for us to collect. I know there was a wonderful drive beyond the laptops that had happened for Pittsburgh Public Schools. So we are trying to facilitate the other schools in Southwestern PA because the need is so great. It's not just in the city of Pittsburgh. So we really want to impact the other students as well. So new laptops, used laptops, tablets, monetary donations so we can purchase new. Dell has been a great partner so far for us, has given us exclusive pricing. So we've been able to get Chromebooks in already. So anything from monetary, new equipment, used equipment, we definitely are accepting all donations.
Okay, that's fantastic. The more discreet you can be, the more helpful we can be. And by the way, Jerome, someone looked up on the CDC site, 1 in 13 people have asthma.
Yeah, it's significant. It is.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's really big. So listen, most of us know you from afar in your, your NFL career. But as I mentioned in your intro, you also are an all-city bowler. Beth leaked this out, okay? She wanted to make sure we knew sort of the whole Jerome. And growing up in Detroit, you've been working, because I went on the website and I see pictures of you with bowling leagues, with kids that bowl. So you've been working to engage young people on this sport. So I'm trying to understand bowling to football. Like, I'm just trying to understand that migration.
Well, for me, I'll tell you how it all started. I was a bowler from 6 years old up until 14. And I was pretty good. I traveled all over the state, all over the country, bowling. And it was crazy because all the kids in my neighborhood, they thought I was nuts. Every Saturday and Sunday, I went to the bowling lanes instead of going to the park. But what happened, my mom and dad thought would be great for us, the whole family, to bowl, and we started to bowl. And I had to make a decision when I got to high school. I wanted to go to college. And I had an older brother, older sister. And I knew that in order for me to get to college, it was going to be tight because my mom and dad was already, putting my sister through school, and my brother was next, and I was last in line. So I said to myself, I've got to figure a better way because if not, I'm going to get shortchanged like I had always been getting. So I decided that I was going to play football to try to get a college scholarship, and that was the number one reason to play football. And as I started, I had to give up bowling, and yeah, I was disappointed about that, but I couldn't do both. I think I made the right decision.
You think you did?
But I went on and had a really good high school career, but I'd never played organized football. I played flag football in middle school. So my freshman year, I played linebacker. My sophomore year, I played tight end and nose guard. And I played running back my junior year of high school and linebacker. And the rest is history. I was able to go on to Notre Dame and have a really great college career, and then was drafted. But it was one of those, that was never the plan. I didn't have an idea that I was going to be this NFL football player and do all these things. I wanted to be an electrical engineer. That was my goal.
Really?
Yeah. My father was the electrical supervisor for the city of Detroit. So anything that built Detroit,
wow.
we had to okay it. So that was my goal. That's what I wanted to do, and I got sidetracked. But it was a good thing, because ultimately I believe I've been able to influence and impact more kids through football than bowling. But what I've done is I've incorporated bowling in the things that I do with the kids, because I still believe it's an incredible sport, and it's something that you get kids, they're able to interact, they're able to enjoy, but they're able to get the message that we're trying to present to them, that there is opportunities out there. There are other things that they need to see. And a lot of kids that we bring have never bowled. They've never been to bowling lanes or bowling center. So you're introducing them to new things, even with the bowling. And that's been our goal at the foundation, to try to, influence and create change and impact these kids. And I think that's part of it as well.
So wait, so how many, what's your average? I was going to ask you how many 300s have you hit?
Any perfect games?
I've got one 300 to my name. That is my crowning achievement in athletics. It's the 300, and then right, just a touch below
13,000 yards.
Is a Super Bowl championship right below.
Oh man!
You know what, Jerome? You could have gotten a bowling scholarship, couldn't you have?
You know what? I researched it. There was only one school that was offering a full bowling scholarship, and that was Ohio State. Of all the colleges,
good school.
Everyone else was offering partial scholarships. So I did my homework. I checked into it, but there wasn't as many opportunities for scholarships bowling wise than there was football wise. So I did the math on it. So
Okay.
I understand.
Well, what do you want to say to the tech community in Pittsburgh? What are some final words from both you and Beth that you want to say to all of us here? I mean, we are in the middle of really unusual and important times, both with COVID, the digital divide, the Black community, and the world has changed in the last 15 to 16 weeks, and you're still forging ahead. What do you want to say to us?
I want to say first on the social side that yes, we all have a part to play in this. I think everyone's eyes have been open to the systemic racism that is plaguing our country. We need to play our part. I think the digital divide is real. We can create that opportunity where we can provide resources. And I think that's what this is all about. It's about listening, providing resources, and making changes. And so if we can do that, then we're going to make a better environment for everyone. And so I think it's critically important, just like Reggie McKenzie 40 years ago decided that he wanted to try to impact just one kid. And that one kid turned out to be a Hall of Fame, Super Bowl champion football player. And if we can, pay it forward by trying to, impact and change the lives of just one more kid, then who knows what that kid will do in the future and how many people he'll be able to impact. So I think the goal is for us to try to encourage that, try to build that. And I think we do that with the resources. And I think if everybody could donate, do whatever they can do, it's not just money, it's time, it's resources, it's hardware. But if we can do that, we're going to make a huge difference socially in our country and in our community.
So the guidance from that is for every person to take one person on and under their wing and help move it forward. That's what I'm hearing from you.
Absolutely.
And that's not so simple. That's not so simple. It's complex and it takes time. Bethany, I just want to pass the baton to Bethany and then we'll let Jerome wrap up. So Bethany, is there anything else that you think that you want us to know about your organization? Is there anything coming up that you think you want to shine the light on?
Well, absolutely. Our Connecting Kids program is going to be running all summer, so we encourage donations. And I think together, if we all come together, we can make the greatest impact. It's not just our foundation. It's not just Pittsburgh Technology Council. It's everybody as a whole. And the more people we can get involved, the bigger the impact we can make. And I think it's going to change not just here in Pittsburgh, but we have the opportunity to change the trajectory of this entire country and really bridging the digital divide. One other thing that I would like to mention is our wonderful partners in Detroit at the Ford Fund have actually encouraged us, and we've launched it 2 weeks ago, to take Innovation Huddle basically online for the summer. So we've launched a new program called Check-In. It's a 6-week virtual program for middle school age students where we cover different topics from app development to website design to Spanish, art. It's a wide variety of topics. They meet every Monday and Wednesday from 3 p.m. to 4:45 p.m. East Coast time. And we've had students join us from all over the country. So if you would like to spread the word about the Check-In program, we are accepting more students to make a greater impact.
And so does the entrepreneurship program, is that an online curriculum that could be shared, or is that only out of Detroit?
So it's an online curriculum that can be shared.
Okay, that's great. So in this virtual world, everyone heard it here. Go to the website, you can reach out to Beth. So Jerome Bettis, Pro Bowler, gone awry, went to the NFL instead, and the story is amazing. That was my joke, by the way.
Pro Bowler.
Gone awry, meaning you could have been an amazing bowler. And but instead you have done what many people only dream they can do. And you're very inspirational to each and every one of us. So any final words to the tech community, which by the way is a pretty vibrant community in Pittsburgh?
I would say to the tech community that, you guys are the future of this country. The tech community is going to be leading the way. And I think in leading the way, there are some responsibilities that come with that. And I think to help your fellow man, to bring and to pay things forward, I think that's part of the responsibility that you have as the leaders in what's happening in this world globally. Mm-hmm. So I would just say, do whatever you can from a corporate standpoint, from a personal standpoint, to move this country forward. And I think the opportunity is there. We're a vehicle. There's other vehicles out there, but just be involved, get connected, and be a part of the change, because there's a beautiful possibility here, but we all need to understand that we all got to play our part. So again, reaching out to us is the busstopsherefoundation.org, or on your phone, you can text BUS to 71777. And believe me, every donation makes a difference. Every refurbished laptop, it makes a difference because of how we're trying to create change and who we're providing these opportunities to.
So we have put links out there on the chat. Everyone knows how to get a hold of Beth at the bus stops here. Jerome, we are thankful for you. We're thankful that you keep Pittsburgh in your heart. We'd like to compete a little bit with Detroit, but we're not going to go there on this show. I can't thank you enough for just being inspirational and taking the time with us. In these times, we need your leadership even more, and we need your words, because we can't do it alone. So thank you for your time. Stay safe. Thank you, Beth, for making all of this happen. Jerome, we're going to keep tabs on you, and hope you keep tabs on us.
All right.
So this is Audrey Russo. We didn't have that many questions, but Jonathan Kirsting is here. He's Vice President of Visibility, and this is the Tech Council. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place.
Thank you.